Hello dear viewers, welcome to another stream, and today we have unusual stream because it's a stream of a complete game, and it's called Bravada, and I'm gonna be playing it with Ivan Taranenko from Interbellum team. He is one of the game designers, writer of script and all texts in the game, artist responsible for all graphics and animations, and he's also responsible for PR of the game. Thank you very much, Ivan, for coming to the stream. I'm very happy to be playing this game with you today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for me, so thank you for proposing to take a part in this stream. Hi Nicholas, and hi viewers.
Hi again, and it's time to get to playing. Actually, I don't know how exactly it will go, because I never played this game before. It will be a completely blind first impression. And we're beginning with the tutorial. And as I see, you can use different buttons to move in directions, but it didn't let me move backward this style, but I can move backward here. It has pretty nice cartoonish style of graphics. I like the feeling of this summertime forest. The green color, there's something about this color just like giving this kind of summertime happiness. And visual accent of orange butterflies is very nice too. It says pull the mouse to an empty space. Left mouse button. Click left mouse button and tells me, so I understood. So I can use mouse to move.
Yeah, it was made
I don't know.
For devices with a touch screen. You know? So
yeah.
It works fine on.
There's a mobile version of the game, right? Or existing, or planned to be exist.
Sorry, can you repeat?
I mean, is there a mobile version of the game? Since you said about touchscreen device.
Not exactly. You know, we have plans to do it on Android and iOS. We even have a build for Android which works fine, but we never kind of end up with mobile version. But the touchscreen controls was made because me personally, I have a touchscreen Windows device, which is pretty rare, I would say. At the moment, so that's why it has controls like this. And yeah, we can kind of have plans to make it mobile, but never ends up.
It looks like a game which would fit very nicely for a mobile market. So I think it would be a right decision to try. And to,
you know, the monetization is not so right for the mobile market, because game has nothing to do with loot boxes, you know, pay to win system of monetization. So I don't know how it will be on the mobile platforms, how to promote it on mobile platforms, because it looks like just a paid game. So probably it won't be so popular on the mobile.
So it's interesting system. To jump, you actually have to drag and drop your character, and that's how you're jumping over obstacles.
Yeah. We can try to make it simple and intuitive for the players. So drag and drop is what everybody know how to do. So I think it's a great system for such a type of game. but it has a limited space. You just can't drag and drop on far distances. It's about three squares or something.
And this makes sense because jumping far wouldn't be realistic. So apparently when I stand, the time doesn't move, and space is to skip time.
Yes, space is used for that. You know, the main idea was to make turn-based games, which not as slow-paced as you know, your regular turn-based games. So I think it's one of a few games that use the WASD controls for the movement. And because of that, you can really fast forward the locations where you don't have enemies, and when you finally meet some enemies, you don't have to rush, and you have time to think every turn to make like most effective movement or action. That was a main idea behind this system, like fast-paced turn-based strategy, something like this, which is pretty unusual, and many players has problems with it because that is not they used for. So people who likes more action games, real-time games, it's pretty slow for them, I think. And people who like strategies and turn-based games, it's maybe too fast or too simple for them, you know. So it's pretty confusing for people. And even some people are playing like an hour of the game, and after hour of playing, they just discovered that the game is turn-based and not the real-time game. I don't know how it's possible, but this is a fact.
Yeah, this is strange, since you can just hold space and it will be pretty much real-time for you.
Mm-hmm.
And even there are games like Shadwin and Superhot, which seems to have similar system but in 3D. And Legend of Grimrock, which looks similar, but it's also in tile-based design, not from top-down perspective, but from first-person perspective. So it seems like there is a market for this kind of game.
Yeah, I believe so too. But maybe those game was kind of implemented better. I don't know. But I kind of like the system we made, so not think there's not so much a problem. Just a little bit, not like other games, but it's still, you know, pretty much understandable. Nothing too strong to understand or too difficult. So now you're still in the tutorial section, which is take place in this forest. Basically, the style of the forest and the assets was taken from a chapter 2, so you will spend a lot of time in this forest in the second chapter of the game.
Seems like I try to approach from this side. They can shoot from through other characters.
Well, which has a little bit of lag, so I'm not sure where you are exactly right now.
Okay, let's try to reduce lag by reducing quality. This should help. Regeneration, so that's what should be kept in mind. So they have regenerated health, and while the enemy is standing I can just retreat. Must be melee then.
I think it's about half a minute of delay, something like this. So I still see, like, you stand and see in the description of the brewer, like you just meet 3 new guys and I'm not sure where you are right in the moment.
I'm trying to destroy 3 flowers, but this is too hard for me because they have regenerating health. Maybe I just should walk around them and return later. Because I already lost 2 characters.
Not sure about the quality.
Well, it's better to have this kind of quality than constant loading screens and huge delay.
Yeah, totally agree. And now when I see it in real time, I can comment it. Okay, so you're still on the tutorial chapter, right. And you see this text under your foot, like you will get them if you lose some of your units. Replenish it. Yeah. So if you lose someone from your team, you will get this ink. So the amount of inks is like the size of your team. And using the inks, you can copy and paste any item, any unit you see on the screen. It may be one from your team, except the hero, of course, or any of the enemies. So try it right now.
But how do I find my team if they are dead and I don't see them on the screen?
No, you cannot copy dead units. Only the one which you see on the screen. So let's try one of these snakes, maybe, or also you can just click the units. No. Click right button. Press right button. Click any unit you see on the screen with left button, and you can see their characteristics in the left top corner of the screen. So you can see the kind of different types of unit has different classes, different types of attack, and even the pattern of attack. If you click this blue snake, you will see it has like maybe you should press button I. You see that I button on the left?
I pressed that on keyboard, but it's not right.
Select blue snake again, blue snake, and the I button. Now you see the info on this snake. Maybe if you see in the right down corner, you can see type of attacks, and so this snake is attacks 2 enemies in a row. So it's like a multiple target attack. It also can attack by diagonals or the straight lines. So it's pretty nice unit. It's also very different from what you have for now in your team. So it's not a bad idea to copy the snake and add it to your team.
Is that button correct for create?
Yeah, it's the same like you using Enk. And now you should, select the one square when you want to place it. So now it's your team, your unit. You can use it like the dwarves. So basically, it's very hard to lose in this game because every time you lose someone, you will get this Enk, and you can replenish your team with a new.
Enks are appearing in the world when I lose units from my team, and then very soon I'm finding loot as much Enks as the amount of people I lost. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. So playing the game from 1 chapter to 5, your team will grow in size, and every time you lose someone, you will get these Enks to replenish that unit. So Enks is like a slots in your team, something like that. Yeah. So now today I see it was a confusing decision to make it like this because it's so weird mechanic of the game.
And it really feels very overwhelming because at the very first level I'm finding hard enemies that I have no other choice but just to avoid, because otherwise my team would very quickly die.
I should say that this is just a tutorial, so when the first chapter will start, then your team will be smaller, and so it's just in tutorial phase. You can select such a cool, powerful enemies, and through the game, it's better to keep your teammates alive, because if you lose them, the one you copy has like default level, which is equals, I believe, to the level of your main character, this red-headed dwarf. But if you keep your units alive, they will be like a little bit ahead in the upgrades, in the levels. So it's still good to keep them alive. But if you lose someone, it's not the end of the world, and you can replace.
So units get experience, and they become stronger the longer they are fighting.
Yeah. And you will see that. Okay, so now you made a huge mistake because you set the snake far ahead of your main team. So snake was killed by 4 enemies easily. Okay, so if you this is a pretty simple melee, but they have.
It seems like this one only attacks diagonally, because it only has. It's the opposite. It's the crosses where the place where it cannot attack.
No. Open it's one more time, and I will try to explain. So this red area is a range of attack. And cross is show the amount of targets can be hit by once, So, for example, this orc attacks in range of 1 square, but it's only 1 target. But also, if you take a look at this at his specs, so under the speed, we can see attack x2, so it will attack twice. Sometimes it's very useful. For example, 1 hit will kill someone, and 2nd hit he will choose another target for the hit, if you know what I mean. So it's like more optimal damage for the units, I would say, something like that.
Yeah, it certainly needs tooltips explaining all that, because it's impossible to understand what the cross means.
seeing the game right now, I see how many confusing decisions we made, and if I if I will remake this game, I will, made many I will make many decisions by something different, because somewhat different. Yeah, you should not. You should use all the eggs you have, because bigger team means more damage power.
It is also confusing, because I think that eggs, since it's as much as resurrection, it sounds like something rare resource that should be kept and used wisely. Because if you compare this to Wasteland 2, for example, if in Wasteland 2 you die, you don't instantly get such resurrection tokens that can let you.
Yeah, but this game is like more casual. Okay, I think you need to drag this hog, closer to your team. So, yeah, you see, like he's facing 3 enemies at once. You gotta, knockout with one. Look.
Exactly.
So you killed 2 enemies at once. That's why you have achievement, and every achievement means, you will see what it means. Hit OK button. Every achievement gives you items.
Cool. That's very cool. It gives more meaning to achievement than just text on the screen you usually have.
Yeah, because
I really like this idea. Regeneration.
You can equip your hero with a head and a weapon. And
I only equip the hero, and I cannot equip anyone else.
Yeah, that's right. Also, every item in the game, and every enemy in the game, and every teammate in the game has like a small funny, I hope so, funny description. It's pretty short, but it kinda adds to the atmosphere. For example, he's armed and dangerous, and batters everything
indiscriminately.
Yeah. So it means it doesn't matter who's in front of him. Anybody. So very, very tolerant orc. He's very tolerant.
Very tolerant because he hates everyone equally.
Yes, that's
right. What about other orcs? If it's like that, why orcs don't fight each other?
Just because they are his buddies. Do you still have Enks or no?
I have 2 Enks, but they are grayed out and I cannot use them at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. You have to make a few steps forward to make them active. That's kind of, a balancing thing, so...
Actually, that's pretty... This one has pretty deep psychological meaning, because fed up with being branded as bad guy, it actually has moral that you shouldn't quick to judge other people, because otherwise you can get someone to hate you who wouldn't otherwise hate you.
I put a lot of effort into these descriptions, but very few players kind of noticed that. So that's probably was all a wrong decision too, because we spent a lot of time for these texts, for description, for implementation, and it's not what was noticed by players and has some impact on them, So many just didn't notice.
But this look very thoughtful, and I think it has potential. Maybe if people don't notice it, like putting some of this stuff into storyline dialogues that can help. Like you have a quest when villagers, you come to some villagers, you have a quest, villagers ask you to protect them from evil snake, and in the process you realize that all that happens is the villagers fault because they falsely accused the snake into being a bad guy. And if they didn't do so, then they wouldn't get into this conflict in the first place.
Yeah. I think the players don't really love to read that much.
It is very sad.
Yeah.
It is very sad. Because it
and
seems
sometimes
to be really worthwhile content. Really worthwhile.
Oh yeah, that's one is nice too, I think. It's like a little description of the Python is a little Easter egg for Monty Python. You know, this British group of comedians.
This particular has bigger range because it's an archer.
Yes. So you see the X is still yellow, so you cannot use them, but when you make a few more steps forward, something like 10 steps, I think, it will become green, and you will be able to fulfill your team to the full amount of units. Yeah, control shows attack sequence. Sometimes at the later chapters this will be initial, and especially on a hard difficulty level. For easy or normal, it's not so important. Just additional feature. I think you could skip it. It's nothing special.
So it shows in which order enemies will attack, and that is required to plan the strategy.
No. You cannot choose, but everyone click some unit to see the info. You see, it has a speed characteristic. For example, snakes has pretty high. Some of the snakes have pretty high speed characteristic. That's why they will be attack first. Well, the equipment of the main character of the hero also has speed characteristics, so you kinda can choose what you need more: the speed or attack or defense, or like special area effects. For example, this Aspen sword has just plus in speed and attack of 210%. It's kind of basic weapon. You will find more weapons later in the game. I think we can kind of move forward because tutorial is not really interesting. It just shows how the system works, because it's a confusing game for many in many aspects. It's very strange. Also, you need to pay attention to the classes of the units. It's kind of icon left to the name of the unit. So, Spitting Cobra, Carpenter. For example, Spitting Cobra, it's something like a magical. Often they don't have a lot of health, so it's not a good idea to put them in the front of your team. For example, the Python, I believe it's more like a tank or warrior type. Also, this Gnome in front of you. Yeah, this one, Carpenter. He's also a soldier class, so it's fine for him to stand in the first row. Also, pay attention to your main hero. He's wearing this sword, and his range is 1 square. So standing like this, he just don't approaches to the enemies.
But if he approaches the enemies, he will quickly die and the game will be over. That's why I'm afraid to put him in front.
He's not so weak, so don't be afraid of that. Also, so for now he's
like
just
about 2 times stronger in health than other characters in attack. So I don't think.
Don't be afraid to put him in the first role because he's pretty strong character. And standing like this, he's pretty useless because he cannot hit anybody. You can put these blue snakes into the second. They still be useful. You see, they can kind of attack from the behind.
Yeah,
You can just, if you're okay with this order for this turn, you can just put hit space and they will attack, standing on the place. Okay. Also, you can get this fruits on berries and mushrooms. They can kind of replenish health of your characters. Also, movement forward. Moving forward, you also get some health restoration. That's kind of important thing in the game. So double click on the unit, set it as a priority target. So, for example, you want to hit one particular unit. If you double click it, try to double click it. For example, this turtle in the first row. Yeah. So now this turtle is a priority target, and everybody will try to hit the turtle if they can. Okay, let's...
Actually, this setup of enemies, this particular one, it reminds me of regenerating turret from Steel Storm, Burning Retribution, and which should be killed first, because otherwise it will resurrect all fallen enemies, and that makes me think that this enemy should die first, so that it won't be able to heal everyone around. Okay,
I believe if you just move forward like this, those two snakes blue in your team will probably attack this marigold healing unit. So you have nice formation, just move forward.
Yes.
Just move forward.
Yes, it seems that way. Let's try it.
You see, the blue snakes attacks this marigold, which is what you really wanted. As you can see, the main hero takes levels, takes experience and gets levels. Also, every of your teammates gets levels, and I think every 5 levels there will be a major update when you can choose an upgrade. I would say we will see that later. Let's try to deal with this blue dragon on the horizon. It's almost the end of the tutorial. Yeah, money is useful too. You will see it later.
Is this game always never allowing you to go back? It's like linear going forward, or there will be open world later?
Absolutely linear. It's pretty simple game, so there is no need to go backwards. So it's always move forward. Yeah, and game full of silly dialogues. You know, most of them just a commentary of what is going on. So pretty like Captain Obvious, you know, talking about what is going on. It's a nice formation. Just move forward. It was easy, isn't it?
Yes, a lot easier than the very first encounter, but where almost all of my heroes died. Oh, there's even a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, reference to Chronicles of Riddick. Dream sequence.
No. Yeah, have been attacked by a terrible dragon? No.
Kingsbury.
Chickens have escaped the hen house. Get them back. Chicks? Oh, well, alright. Yeah, so now the tutorial is finished. You have to choose the difficulty. I think normal will be fine for you. Hard will be really hard.
Optimal difficulty Gamers Association.
Yeah, the game is full of this, funny descriptions. Many people just don't read them at all, which is so sad for me because I was tried so hard to make it funny and merry.
Well, yeah, it does look for this particular one. It does look pretty funny and also descriptive.
Yeah, so this is the first chapter of the game. So tutorial ends. Now you are kind of really playing.
So hero was dreaming, but somehow managed to bring the items from the dream.
Yes.
So it's not like in Wolfenstein and Chronicles of Riddick. It's more magical thing.
You can kind of see this health bar. If you see the green health bar, this is some from your team. If you see the red health bar, this is the enemy. And gray health bars are neutral units. So just make a forward move to continue. I don't know. So this is the same elder guy from the intro.
And I'm trying to find a way to talk to him, but it seems like it's all automatic.
Yes.
And you cannot manually talk to anyone.
Yeah, and this is your sidekick. Little silly bat. It will go with you through the whole story and make some funny commentary on what is going on. So the hero is like a young dreams about the adventures, but instead of adventures and some journeys, he has to deal with, like regular work in the hen houses. Nothing too interesting for him, and this story will continue in some way. You will see soon. Okay, you just need to move forward basically, and also it's not a bad idea to kill all enemies you will meet.
Of course,
because
items, coins.
Yeah, because of coins and because of experience points. On normal, it's not that essentially, but useful. On the hard level, it's pretty essential. If you not, get levels, get all experience you can, then you may be too weak to defeat some enemies, because hard difficulty is really hard. Okay, you see these guys has gray health bars, so they are neutral. You cannot kill them, hit them. They are just critters, neutral critters.
Fried, steamed, smoked, boiled, stewed, salted and paid. And which one of those is this one?
Not sure. Time will show us.
I really like how the corners are underlined in these bricks and these walls.
Yeah. The graphics is
it looks like
simple.
some ancient rules or ancient runes on this wall.
Because it's dwarven undergrounds, like Ruins of Moria, or how this stuff was called, I don't know, in the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, and sometimes characters will comment. No, you can't get them because you can't go backwards. That's so silly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just deal with it, man.
The torch, it's emitting some circular waves instead of fire, something like more looking like circles on water than fire.
It's magical lantern, you know. I don't know how that's interesting, but or not for the viewers. But all the graphics, all the 3D graphics was made in Blender software. Blender 3D, which is a free open source software. So all the models, many of the textures, all the animations was made in Blender. And well, because the graphics are pretty simple, so Blender was capable enough to make all these simple graphics. Also, the characters on the screen has no animation, like, you know, skeletal animation. Only some of the characters have it, like this bat companion has. Okay, so he says someone destroy corals. Okay, looks like I won't be having a sleep. As you see, these little chicks, they kinda sway a little bit. So it's not a true animation, it's more like a transformation.
Yeah, and breathing for the characters, also transformation.
Yeah, he just scales a little bit, you know, kinda to imitate the breathing.
But it's pretty hard to notice. I'm only noticing it now when you directed my attention towards it.
Yeah. But some of the players kinda wanted to see the, you know, real animation. But for such a small studio like we was at the moment, just 3 men, and I'm just only one who make all the graphics and assets, it wasn't possible to animate all the characters, because I believe there are something about 250 characters in this game, something like that. As you can see, some of the chicks ahead have red health bars, so they are
converted them into enemies. Some evil mage.
Yeah, these chickens have been rebelled. They have to fight back. So as you can see, this sidekick is more like Captain Obvious or something. He just comments something on the screen, which is entirely, you know, understandable even without his commentary. I don't know why I think it was a good idea to make such a dialogues.
Why so many bricks have fallen off the ceiling?
I don't know, maybe it's just, you know, supplies for making another corridor.
And if it's a basement, then there should be explosives, because before building the corridor you must make a tunnel in the ground for it in the first place.
Yeah. You will find some explosives pretty soon, so just move forward. This is a game about the moving forward. So now you have a small team. You start with 3 characters in your team, and you will find additional characters through the game. Yeah, just to organize it, how you think it's gonna work. Probably to place your main hero to the right of the chicks, it will be fine. Chick is very weak character, and probably you will lose it quickly if you.
It's probably also no point to level this character up, and better find someone else.
Yeah, you can just, you know, throw it to the enemy, and it will die, and you will get Ankh, and get some better characters than the chicks, or you can try to keep it, and it will change into something new. Because all characters, every 5 levels, they will transform into new characters. You will see it sooner or later.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
At this particular point, the screen is just not scrolling, so I can move back.
If the streaming is going on. Yeah, seems like everything is okay on the page.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Okay. You don't have to think about every step right now, because it's pretty simple for now, and you just keep move forward, killing the enemy and putting everything, everything you see. Oh yeah, you're losing that chick. Well, that's fine.
It's very hard to keep.
Yeah, but it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, keep moving. Oh, something really going on. What is going on in this Dwarven hen houses? You see that arrow right on the end. It kind of, tipping you that you need to use it in something. For example,
another chicken, because there's no one else around.
Or this dwarf.
We can call him the dwarf.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, that's probably gonna be more useful than a chicken. Can we call him the main hero, I wonder?
Let me maybe advise you a little bit. Okay, we will see it later. Okay, just move forward, it's fine. And this is small slime. Dwarves don't give a damn about ecology. And there's...
Now we have social satire.
Yeah. The story is full of... I'd be dare to call it philosophy, so it's some philosophical aspect, even in the main story and the final
That's
battle.
great. That's great. I love to find philosophies and stories. It's a lot better when they are more deep and thoughtful than just something constructed out of usual tropes to make you feel emotions and completely calculated in which moment you're gonna feel what. Thought-provoking stories are always a lot better.
Obey.
And now you see these mages.
Our chickens. We have to stop them, snotty wrigglers. You will die. So as you can see, he is a captain. I don't know why. I think it was a good idea to make him like this.
What you seem to be obvious is not so obvious to a player from the outside. So not everyone will realize what's going on, and that's where this bot comes in handy.
Yeah, you're right. But some viewers on the YouTube who play the game, they kind of react to this guy like, "Oh yeah, oh really?" With sarcasm, because it's so obvious.
I'm sure every individual reaction is different.
Yeah. Take one of them because they are has ranged attack, but it's fine because dwarves are pretty universal units, and you will see that later that you can kind of fix that problem. For now, you have only melee range attacked units.
But I don't think there's anyone around for ranged attacks. Maybe the slime. I don't know. Don't remember what attack they had.
Yeah. Also, as you can see, you can have not only ink but other consumables items. for now you have this hourglass and this health potion. You don't have to use it right now, but both of them are pretty useful. Okay, so slimes run away, you should follow them. This is next level. I believe it's 1.2 level. So the things will be
one empty corridor.
You know, chapter 1 is a little bit boring at the starting, but it will be more fun later. So this consumables thingy on the right is pretty obvious. The health potion will replenish some of your health, and the hourglass will rewind the game one turn backwards. Yeah, another silly joke. This cockroaches has pretty good armor, so it's not too easy to kill them as other.
It requires anti-cockroach poison.
Yeah, you don't have to kill every enemy, just forward. It's totally fine. You don't have to do this.
Experience and loot might be useful later.
You can just drag, kind of starting to get how things works in this game. Yeah,
and actually I can drag a person very far away to retreat if it's needed.
Yeah. At this level it kind of looks like a cheat, but later when you be bigger, it won't be that useful to drag them like this.
Because there will be enemies with bigger ranges.
Yeah, and because more of your units will be under attacks, and you will sometimes you will have to make a decision: saves that one or those ones. If you know what I mean.
Who to sacrifice?
Yeah, exactly. As you can see, you can take more than 3 hourglasses. It was a game design decision because we don't want players to, to collect like dozens of the items, and we decided to make this limitation. So because of you cannot have more than 3 items, it's no reason to keep them, and probably should to use them in such situation, Another confusing decision probably we made. Oh, again, he kind of annoys me. This little guy. So right now you play in the second level of the game, and game is divided into chapters, and every chapter has 2 regular levels. Third one is kinda differs from regular levels, and fourth level is a boss fight. So for now, gameplay is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but when you get to the third level of the chapter, the things become more interesting, I believe. So we will see that soon. For now, just moves forward. Oh yeah, I think it's a 5th level, so you can now select an upgrade for your hero. What you believe is more useful for you, the attack, health, or armor. Yeah, the appearance is changing a little bit.
This is a very nice detail.
Yeah, but I don't know how this little cape is linked to the strength, but the apples and the newer clothes looks fine. And the stat is changing, as you can see. And the class of your hero is depends on the weapon you equipped right now. So since you just use this Aspen sword as your default weapon, so for now he is just a fighter. Let's say. Let me give you little advice for now. You see this new in front of you, and one of them is kind of bluish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's Moss, and he's a healer. So basically, it's the first healer you can get in the game. So probably it would be wise to dismiss one of the dwarves and get this Moss to your team. It would be useful. You can kind of lose some damage of your team, but it will be more kind of universal because it will heal you.
Yes, that
So
makes sense.
So you need to go to information of one of the dwarves. So select one, go to info, and click this dismiss. Yeah. So you get X, and when it gets green, you kind of copy paste this Moss to your team. It will be useful, and place 2 dwarves in the row, in the first row, and Moss in the second row. Will be like a pretty universal combination for you for now. Oh. Okay.
Still not active.
Yeah, just move a little bit forward. It's fine. You will deal with green guy. It's nothing special. Oh, in one of our dwarves are gets an upgrade. So you have to choose to keep it like a warrior with high attack but low range, or you can make them a roadie who's has range of 2 squares but lower attack, I think. So yeah, I think it's nice decision, because now you have ranged unit, and also you can copy and paste this Moss to your team. Yeah, and drag and drop your main hero into. The healer is better to be behind behind the backs of. Yeah. Okay, now this is a great company. Great team. It's pretty balanced. You can attack the melee enemies from range. You can heals, Okay, so streaming is fine.
I'm very happy to hear this.
Not sure if there are any freezing or not, but looks smooth. Okay, so you got this new weapon, steel hatchets. They have same range, but they have attack X2, so it will attack twice. I'm not sure what you like more.
And they even have different skins.
Yeah, that's because you play on normal difficulty, so you got at once the bronze and the silver tiers of this weapon. I think it's another confusing decision, you know, to expose them like this, these tiers.
And when I change the skin, I don't see any changes in their actual statistics.
Yeah, that's because you already get it in a silver tier, like a second tier, and you kind of get best of what it is.
And on hard difficulty, how does it work? A different tier item is it's another item I should find, or it's a with experience of using the weapon it gets better.
I'll try to explain how it works. If you work on easy difficulty, you will probably get bronze items. You can see the tier right to the right of the item name. You see the steel hatchet name and then 2 silver stars, which means that you got the silver tier. When you play an easy, most of the time you will get bronze items. Lately in the game you will sometimes get silver items, and maybe in the 5th chapter you probably sometimes will get the gold items. When you play on the normal, you basically got most of the time the silver tier items, and later in the game you will get the gold tier items. But when you got silver, you same time get the skin of a previous tier, like bronze tier hatchets. You can, I don't know if it's okay, if it's understandable for you. It's pretty confusing even for me to explain how it works.
It seems like it depends on difficulty.
Yeah, it depends on difficulty.
The decoration that rewards you for playing on higher difficulty.
Yeah, exactly. And when you get a higher tier of the items, you still can see lower tier skin in this inventory. Also, in the same way, like your enemies and your teammates has funny descriptions. Every item in the game also has funny descriptions. So now you switch to the hatchets and your hero makes 2 hits per turn. I think we're close to the end of level 2. So
now the bat is useful because I don't see what's in front. It's too dark. And it just said that it's a dead end.
Seems like cockroaches is, you know, takes this health potion. And now you can choose an upgrade for your moss. It can transform into a fern or mold. So if you wanted to keep him a healer, so choose the fern. If you need range, you can.
Well, I already have a ranged dwarf, so I think it's not wise to lose a healer, so it's better to just make it a better healer.
That's wise words. Don't forget about this, you know, battles. You can use them on your teammates when they need it. Especially when you see that you can replenish. Just move forward, because your main hero cannot reach. He has range of 1 and he kinda useless right now. So just move forward. You can see, you know. Yeah. So now he can hit these enemies. Would like to buy this awesome pickaxe. Yeah, this is a shop, a store. So you can spend some monies you get before. Click that green button. Yeah.
Well, he said square guy, I thought of Minecraft, and I look at pickaxes and they also are like pixelated like Minecraft.
Yeah. A little Easter egg, not so, you know, hidden, but obvious in your face. But you have just 340 coins, and I think you can buy just wooden pickaxe.
It will be more useful than a shield.
Shield is also a consumables item.
Ah.
I don't think you need it.
That is confusing, because I can imagine the shield to be broken, but over time, but confusing, but consumable for temporary defense. A lot harder to imagine it this way.
Yeah, it's work like this. You're giving this shield to any of your character units, and it has you know, bigger armor for some time. But it's not like equipable item, it's more like a consumable, similar to the health potions and hourglasses.
Casserole dish.
Casserole dish is a helmet, but you have no money for this. It's just 10 more coins and you will be able to buy it. But
and pickaxe is a weapon. Is it possible to mine something in the game, some resources that can be useful?
No, you just can mine the heads of your enemy. That's all.
And RPG, play the role of a zombie and reach those delicious brains.
But I think it's a pretty good weapon, I would say, this wooden pickaxe. As you can see, it's only bronze tier, but it has more critical attack, and it has triple attack, and also it has blue range area, as you can see, so it's more like a magical weapon. So the units that has physical armor will have 0 armor against this pickaxe. This is a very good weapon, I would say, for you for now. So you still
it's pretty hard game, because it looks like axes would be better, but actually there are some not very obvious advantages of the pickaxe.
I think we're close to the end of the second level, and now also I have to say that it's possible to beat them even without the dynamite, but it's pretty hard. So it's better for you to use the dynamite consumable items. Maybe one more. Yeah, that should be okay for now. They're pretty hard, and also all of them are ranged. So, and this blue one like a unit, so they ignores your physical armor and gives you more damage. Yeah, that's good. Also, I don't know if you remember, you can move diagonal, so use Q or E button for moving diagonals. Yeah.
That's the first thing I learned about the game, because in its launcher it has controls window where it has list, and in that list it says that there are diagonal moves with Q, E, Z, C. Roots of some tree.
Yeah, so we finally get to the third level.
Explorer achievement.
And because you used that dynamite, the tunnels have become unstable.
And if I didn't use the dynamite, would it still be the same or different scene?
Yeah, it will be the same, but I'm not sure if it's kinda different explanation of why the tunnels became unstable. Not sure. Oh, and you get another achievement and another hat. So you get more speed and more critical. Okay. Yeah, that's the third level. These moles kind of can make some mess in your team because they appears from the back and, you know, can kill your healer. And also because tunnels became unstable, so the rocks kind of fall from the, you know, ceiling.
Big chicken.
Yeah, if you keep your chick alive, you remember,
it will become like this, bigger.
Yeah, and later it will, you know, improve even better. So this kind of chicken is it's not that useless like a yellow first level. It also has critical attacks, so sometimes it can deal a lot of damage. But nothing special on the normal difficulties, still passable, so... Also, I would recommend not to spend a lot of time on the, you know, the same place, like skipping turns or moving left, right, and more concentrate on moving forward, because this stone fall will
increase.
Yeah, you will see how much it will increase.
And it's also possible to attack stones.
Yeah, because sometimes they create like you know, not passable situation in the game, so you have
block
to
the way.
Yeah, they will block the way, and you have to break them to go forward.
And I found
And you got this
resource how I can check what it does?
You just click and read the description at the top of it. So basically it's just create a yellow stone on the ground. Seems like useless, but sometimes...
You can block the way for enemies.
Yes, yes.
Particular dangerous enemy that could help.
Yeah, you can kind of separate like healers from fighters or something like this. So sometimes it's very useful, especially on hard difficulty level. As you can see, the stones from the ceiling can kill your enemies too. Also, if you notice, the music is changed on the level. It becomes like more fast and more intense because of this. You know, to complement this unstable tunnels level with the fallen rocks. And again, the Captain Obvious kind of telling us that we need to move faster. I think game became harder from this third level. First two was like walk in the park, but this one is a little bit harder. So may have some challenge for the persons who not really played in the strategy and turn-based games. You can use time consumable. Yeah. So yeah, just rewind for one turn and maybe use a heal potion for the healer. It will help, I think. And just keep turn or try to go forward. It also will work. Every time you move forward, kind of heals a bit, so it's useful in the game to move forward, even in the battle situation. Also try to not stand under these markings on the floor, because you will get a hit of stones like this.
Achievement for food eaten.
Yeah, so you got the glutton achievement and these guns.
Ranged attack.
Yeah, and also because you have twin pistols, so it's double attack.
It looks like a pickaxe basically, but with ranged.
It's ranged at physical damage instead of magical, and it's two attack instead of 3. So you can try it. It's a fine weapon. It's more universal because you have more range. You don't have to, change your formation as often because of your ranged weapon. And on the normal difficulty, it's still enough damage to deal with your enemies. But of course, ranged weapon has an average lower attack damage than melee weapons. Why this close button so attractive for you? You always try
because I think that it will close this description, and it does that, but in 2 steps instead of 1, and it basically works the way I want, almost.
Yeah.
I
You know,
don't
it's
even
always
know the correct
it's always
way to close it. Don't even see
Always-
if there's one. This, I don't think it will do anything. It probably
it just pins
close.
this information window, so it kind of keeps on the screen. I don't know why.
So if I pin it, it still closes if I try to hit close.
No, it won't disappear.
It disappears after some moves.
Yeah, for example, you can click your main hero and show it his stats always. You know, I don't know why, but but it will. Okay, let's move forward. It doesn't really matter how all this interface weird features works. Oh, that was a tough hit. You know how useful your healer, because you probably will lose this ranged dwarf if you don't have this healer.
Yes, probably. And the money disappeared when the chicken died. Well, it should have been returned. Because it's not food, it cannot be eaten or something, it's money, it can't help. Even if chicken eats the money or something, you can still just extract it from its stomach and use. Because money is just a metallic coin, it won't be spoiled if the chicken ate it.
Yeah, good point. Oh. Wooden shield.
That looks like an equipment.
Yeah, as you can see, it gives you very little of attack, but pretty much defense and speed. But I think the pistols is fine, because you have a lot of health and...
Wooden shield is a weapon?
Yeah, it works like a weapon.
Weird. No, pistols I think are better because of the range.
Weird. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Maybe it's a good idea to rewind, because you're in a really tough situation. Let's try to use this boulder, this cookie boulder, and use it to block the way for this yellow mole.
Like this?
Yeah, like this. Also, maybe I'm not sure about the healing. Looks like maybe your green dwarf need to be healed. So let's try to use this healed. Yeah, healing potion. Yeah, and now just press space. I think it will be fine. And now move forward. Because moving forward is always a heal. Another great. So it's because it's 10th level for the hero.
There's one missing feature, you cannot rotate him with left mouse button.
Yeah. Did you notice these sausages here when you select this? So
it's
great.
To replenish health quickly. Portable medkit.
I would say in a battle situation is always a good idea to try and to almost always, because it gives you a little bit of healing, and sometimes it's really, you know, makes a difference. And when you're trying to avoid this marking floor, it's better to use the diagonals than to, instead of moving left right, because you still keep on going forward when you use diagonals. As you can see, because you're using two ranged units, they not deal enough damage sometimes to break the stones from one hit. Oh, level number 10. So now you can select the bully or the cook.
And cook will become a healer, so he will lose his ability to attack.
You have a healer, so I don't think you need for now. Yeah, use health. Yeah. Because you will get, and move forward. Of course, move forward. Keep moves forward. It's fine, because those cookies are not that useful, so not a big deal to lose one of them. Now the diagonals, maybe. Oh, those apple in the stone.
And they are supposed to attack the stone, but they ignore it.
Yeah, that's probably...
Oh, they stopped ignoring it.
Oh, I think we are really close to the end of this level.
Hopefully, because there are really a lot of boulders now.
Yeah, it's like a mess. See way out. Okay. That's a useful information. Oh. Okay.
Golden boulder.
To be honest, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Cookie.
Oh, just cookie.
Light. The cookie was emitting light, and this light was shining on the boulder.
Oh no, this is a slime Zor. We are done for. I can believe that some teeny dwarves with a bat have unmasked our conspiracy. We have planned to take these tunnels for years. We studied hypnosis and magic stuff. Nobody can stop us now. Beware, we'd better not to piss off this normal slime.
I think it's already pissed off.
Yeah. I can produce more snot with a pretty cold. Enough, you see and heard too much. It's time to shut up, you forever. Look, and as you can see, the bosses has some animation, like idle animation and the movement. So they looks kind of better than regular units. Yeah, he's a slime Zor. and every time you hit him, he will produce one of this little guy. So maybe it's a wise decision to change the weapon of your main character, because he make twice attack per turn, so it will produce twice. So maybe choose like your Aspen sword. It's a little bit more clever for this boss. Otherwise, you're fine. So also take a look at this, barrels rates at the sides. So if you will be in the tough situation, you kind of can drag and drop units, one of the units there, and maybe kind of get some consumables out of this rates. But basically, you just skip the turn with the space bar, and it will be okay. Also, this boulder helps you, because two of these little green slimes cannot approach you at the same time, because
they can attack diagonally, and you're into a mushroom.
Yeah, because we have some branches of monsters, and we have this plant, like flora branch, insects branch, dwarfs branch, birds branch, reptiles, I believe, and every of these branch will be, a lot of units in them. Okay, so if you see, they both kind of healers, but one of them has more range, more ranged healer. Other is have same range, like 1 square, but it has bigger healing effect, 100.
Well, I think bigger radius probably will be useful in the future when I will have more heroes.
Yes, but for now, okay, it's your decision. Maybe it's it's a good plan. Who knows? Okay. Basically, it's what I'm talking about when I said that if you keep your bodies alive, they kind of be a little bit ahead of monster you meeting, because those kinds of mushrooms, they will appear only in next chapter in the woods. So basically, you get this mushroom healer earlier, which is cool. Of course, you can always replenish your team. If you keep in one alive, it will be like a higher level companion. It has like tons of health, but nothing special on the normal level. Pretty easy boss. Especially because you have pretty good team. You don't have like 2 healers or so the combination is good, and it works for this boss.
Few achievements for difficulties, probably on normal and on easy. Slimes always defeated.
So you get a brain slug head.
But it's not as good as the one at the beginning, 5 regeneration, but it gives more health and
defense. Yeah, this is a skin from bronze tier of the head, and green is silver tier. It has health and more defense, so it's pretty nice. I think it's kind of
And it has a cube.
Correct to Futurama, I think, series or something like this. I think in Futurama they have the brain slugs creatures.
And what is this cube with question marks on it?
It's special consumables which you can basically exchange on any other consumables. For example, you can create a dynamite out of this box, or a health potion, or rewind hourglass, whatever. Except, of course, these little ants. So
that sounds very useful.
Yeah, so you can create what you need at the moment, you know, something like this. It's actually in the description. It says like it contains whatever you need at the moment, something like this. Have you taken the chicks back? Man, they almost took me to the grave. The population decreased slightly, but now they complained. Compliant. What? There were lots of those slimes, hypnosis, and obey. But I pulled my sword, smack. It's not flying, but they kept pressing forward. I had to dynamite, and everything starts to tremble. We're fleeing with smalls. The ceiling was shaking and boom, bam. Then came the great snot. Well, I smacked him too. Filled all my boots and broke my tooth. And I got callus on my foot, that's it. Okay, what about the chicks? What chicks? Oh, they are fine. That's good. Now hit the hay and I've got to come. So, a little funny, you know, clip, movie. Man, at my age, Dad already had a gorgeous beard. I reached his knees. What kind of dwarf I am without a beard? Well, I read about the rare flower in one of my it grows in dense forest, and it has some unusual properties. From ancient times, this flower was used by dwarves to solve their beard problems. Okay, sounds like a plan. Then why did you didn't tell me this before? Tomorrow morning we'll go after it. So as you can see, this elder guy kinda don't really care about the adventures of this young dwarf. The only thing he's caring about is his chickens and
food,
all the adventures.
And again, it offers to choose a difficulty.
Yeah, maybe you change your mind. I don't know. Maybe or easy. I don't know. I think normal is fine for you, kinda.
But only because you are here, because there are many things which are very hard to notice that you're telling me.
Yeah, you know, the game looks pretty casual, but I think for many people it's hard to beat it on the normal difficulty. So it's kinda somewhat looking not as difficult as it is. Okay, so the main plot of the story is that this young dwarf has no beard, and he kinda not sure in himself, you know, because of this reason. He's not sure if he is a proper type of dwarf, because his father at his age already has beard. So he dreaming to be like a proper dwarf, and all this adventure will be like a run for the beard. It's just, you know, a little chit chat. They kinda, you know, make this role very useful for you. By one, sometimes the AI kinda behaves strangely. So this is a chapter 2, and the tutorial was made asset from the chapter 2, because I think this forest is nice enough for like being seen, for, like something to see firstly when you just started, because tunnels a little bit boring, something like that. And forests are nice. You can see these butterflies and god rays through the leaves.
Yes, and it has very happy summer mood, so it gives a good impression about the game because of this mood.
They leveled up like crazy. Oh, and you can see this mushroom is just the same as the healer. Yeah, but you get it earlier in the game because you kind of keep the smokes alive and it leveled up naturally. Looks like a foreman. Every hardworking miner can become a. Now he can work even harder. Yeah, a little bit of philosophy. Well, I always dreamed to become a botanist. Okay. No, just move forward and he will, you know, join your team.
That's how it works.
Yeah, it's kind of scripting, you know. You just have to cross some line to something going on.
So it's not possible to trigger a dialogue to launch the script, only to cross a line?
I believe it's one script per line or something like this, because our programmer wasn't sure that it will work fine in some order. I don't know, but for some reason the scripting triggers must be like one per line, something like that. So this is a melee character, so it's okay to keep him in the first row. Maybe in the same row as your main character. And your strategy is working, so even from the healer it still can be healed.
Great.
Maybe you need to, your ranged dwarf, move him in the second row, right next to your main character, because now he is not, you know, he's not shooting anybody. Yeah, something like this. And here you see this log is kind of blocking your way, so you cannot move your melee units right to this ranged mushrooms, so you have to deal with this somehow. Maybe just like push forward. Yeah. Oh, not let him die. He will die without this healer, so just move all your team like in diagonal, maybe.
Healer still in range of the healer.
Yeah, now it works.
cannot move forward because the healer.
You can drag him on this mushroom. Just
He'll
drag him
be
out.
out of range of the healer then.
No, it's fine for now
Oh,
because most of them are killed by your ranged units.
he seemed to have very strong attack.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing that's not very convenient is that if you move and something blocks your way, then the team does not get arranged the way it was before.
Yeah, that's true. Leech. So he's like poisonous.
I like the joke about trying to use leeches for
Uh-huh.
healing, because it's pseudo-scientific medicine. Leech doesn't work when it comes to healing, but it can make it can make you feel better, but only because you're bitten, you're using some blood that causes stress to you, and that makes you feel better, but it's only an illusion, it's not any kind of healing or something. It even though it is like feeling better, but it's due to stress, it's just exhausting resources of the body, and it's not healthy at all.
So it's more like just adrenaline, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, those medicine, bloodletting, or how it's called in English.
Back in the Middle Ages, they didn't have medicine that was scientifically proven, and they didn't know about cognitive biases, so that's why they believed in methods that didn't actually work.
Yeah, Middle Ages, you say, okay. I think it's still there.
That's well, if you like, many people believe that genetically modified food is dangerous, even though they are not a single scientific experiment which has proven this. And this fact and many others, they really make you feel like we're still living in Middle Ages. Like middle-aged people with modern technology, but people themselves didn't advance still in the Middle Age, and that is sad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 15 levels. I think your hero is healthy enough, so you can choose
Attack or defense?
attack. Maybe attack is fine because
Defense is already given by the items.
Pistol is like a very small attack, and
Okay,
even a little
chosen
boost will
attack.
help. Oh,
Again, he can be turned into a healer or a stronger melee.
or better ranger, yeah. And I would say after this select, you won't be able to get back to the healer. So, but he.
And that's again not obvious at all because you don't see the whole skill tree, and at this moment you can actually think that you will always have the choice at every level up. And that's a false impression.
I give you a tip. So if you choose the ranged right now, he kind of will be ranged forever. So, but I think it's okay because ranged units are really useful, and you always can use healers like these plants healers, like your mushroom. He's fine too.
Yeah, I think range is more useful. And there are a lot of healers in the environment, like this one. It's magic attack, but I've seen mushrooms like this.
And he will attack two in a row. So, like, if you just move forward, minor and your main hero, both of them. Stack beetles has a lot of defense, so it's better to use in them some magical. weapon. Maybe you can change your weapon of your main character to something that has magical attack, like this axe, yeah, wooden pickaxe from Minecraft, and also place him in the first row to just swap with your ranged. That seems like a balanced.
Maybe should move another hero to prevent him from being attacked from this. Like if it attacks 2 in the row,
I think this
maybe if I move him here to the left,
he will die in the. It's not a problem because you can mark him as a priority target, and everybody will try to hit him.
And it does look like the most dangerous enemy. So yes, that sounds like a good idea.
This commentary from this little bat is come from idea that nobody is reading the descriptions, and we were so proud of the descriptions. So sometimes when you randomly meet some new enemies, it will appear and randomly say saying their descriptions.
That's good. That's what I talked about earlier, that if people don't read the description, then maybe they should be put in dialogue and quests or something like that.
Yeah. As you can see, you killed this caterpillar in the first turn because everybody was concentrated on him. Also, in these peaceful locations like this forest, you can skip turns because your healer can, replenish some of the health from the wounded characters. You don't have to use every time you use the health potion because you have a healer. So you just can skip turns and heals for free. Oh, okay. I'll be back in a moment. Just a few minutes.
All right.
Okay, I'm back. Nothing terrible happens, he's still moving.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to run straight forward. Come up, just press space. Yeah, because many players just forget about space function, and they keep it forward. Sometimes it's not a great decision. So it's always useful to see how the other players play your game without your tips. And we saw how many people are struggling with this, so we decided to add this tip. Also, you can see that this miner unit, he hits like 2 targets at the same time, I believe. So his attack is not that great, but he hits two enemies.
But in order for two enemies to be hit, one should stand in front of him and one to the left, or it's not important.
Yeah. I believe,
if enemy is here, he won't hit.
Yeah, no. He will hit anyway. They just need to stand one by one with a space between them, you know. So
yeah, so this picture doesn't look explanative enough, because it can give you the idea that if enemy is here, then it won't be hit.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And why do I have a green cross on
you can also mark your own as
to be
priority target for your healers.
Ah.
So if you kinda in the situation when you need to heal one exact unit, you kinda can mark him, and the healers will try to heal him exactly.
This is very useful.
Yeah, especially on hard difficulty. And now we're playing like levels 2.1. 2.2 will be similar to this, and 2.3 will be again somewhat different. Okay, another upgrade. So you can choose Champignon or Truffle.
Well, ranged healing helped me so far, so I think I should stay with ranged healing.
Okay. Level 2.3 will be interesting because every third level in every chapter is kinda different from whole chapter. And also 2.4, which is also more interesting boss fight than the slime Zor.
That's good. It's always great to break a process of playing game by throwing something completely different.
Yeah, but sometimes kinda when it's right in the battle, it looks strange a little bit. So, hey man, we're kind of fighting there, so why you pierce with your commentary? But this is one of
the one in the basement when they're also the dialogue started in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Well, the game pauses anyway, so that's no big deal.
Not a big deal, you're right, but just, kind of breaks the flow a little bit. Okay. Humor is very silly. Not to everybody's taste. Yeah, your wooden pickaxe works great against this beast because they have armor, and this axe kind of has a magical damage, so it's very effective against them. Also, it sometimes makes a critical hit, so... You have a nice strategy by keeping your healer away from the battle, so he's kind of safe. But I don't think it will work later with this strategy.
so many people.
Look, some dwarves are coming, but I can't see Bonehead among them. Maybe they saw him. Let's ask them. No, we will find him on our own. Okay. And this young dwarf always getting some situation from time to time. You will see that soon.
Can we join them?
No, they just neutral.
What a disappointment. I already started thinking that now I'll have a huge team of many dwarves.
Oh, it grows, you know, gradually from the first chapter to fifth. But I think you will get another one very soon. You know, they're not so strong, so you can move up to them and hit them in the face. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this. I recommend letting this herd pass by.
Oh, so many enemies. And they can really pass by?
Yeah, I would listen to this advice because there are too many of them. But you kinda can kill few of them if you with your ranged units, if you kind of keep them at the distance a little bit, but not face them like face to face. It will be death, immediate death. You can kill few of them, but not much.
And they are ignoring the shots.
Yeah, sometimes. You know, the game was released right now. I can see how strange this game is. It's really strange how it's made. All this, you know, controls are weird. Decision.
It gives kind of nostalgic feeling because it reminds of those games or from those. And you know, 80s and 90s where every game was completely different and where the games did not all look similar, but everyone was completely different and it had required different approach and different thought patterns and everything. And it's not the same how it's now. So it's pretty nice to see a game like this, but at the same time also it makes it very hard. But it's, you know, all these things with the strategy that not explained to you very well, and a lot of things you have to learn, and there's no sandbox levels with easy enemies that lets you to try different things. There are hard battles from the very beginning. And today players just expect things to be easier to understand and explained.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There are still some examples that manage to like pull off something to be challenging but still accessible to a modern audience, like Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which has no tutorials, and because you're supposed to simply in the go to controls menu see all moves you have and then try all these moves and see what happens. And the way they did to hint you subtle what that is great, because when you think maybe I should go to the options and see all my controls what they do, so you click escape and right there, not even before you enter options menu, you have this list of all buttons and what they do, and this gives you a hint that yes, you're correct, you're going to the right direction.
Yeah, you're right. I think we made same mistakes as, in the Bravada. Because weird mechanics which is like a breath of something new, a fresh air, if you will. Because many games like made by certain patterns, I believe, today, and so similar to each other. Okay, can you see this turkeys at the horizon? So if you keep your chicken alive, so at some point this chicken will turn in this huge turkey hen.
And it's beautiful, nice green wings.
Yeah, and it's a pretty dangerous creature, I would say. Like in Far Cry 5, where turkeys are, killers from the.
It's because, like, Americans are feeling bad about
30% of critical hits.
About eating turkeys for Independence Day, and then so they have bad dreams about turkeys becoming evil and attacking them.
Yeah. If you see the description, something like about this Independence Day.
Yeah.
Not Independence Day, but how it's called, I don't remember. Forgiven Day, Forgiven. Liberation. Yeah.
Yes. And there's also, in Gothic 3 early version, there's a wild boar in the forest which bites with the speed of a machine gun and kills the hero in a matter of seconds.
Oh god. Yeah. So they are short ranged. You can kill them from a distance. You can swap your weapons to something ranged. So works okay.
The only ranged weapon I have is twin pistols.
I think they would work.
The chosen one. Careful. He saves everyone, like he saves people, then catches up with them and saves them again.
Yeah, and saves those who ask.
Inflict kindness.
If you want, I can try to tell how we get into Steam with this game.
Actually, yes, I am interested how the game was made, how it was known, and how did you come with the idea of this game?
Okay, so
and how did you decide that you want to be making games?
Well, I was a child when I first think about some stories or worlds and deep gameplay whatsoever. And after school, I go to the university. I have education of a programmer, but never really, was into the programming. So after I finished my university, I was more interested in computer graphics, especially for games. And I go to a company who made casual games, because in the city I lived, there was only casual game developers. This like Match 3 games or searching for objects type of games. They more for like middle-aged women auditory made. So I worked there like 4 years, I believe. I came there like to work like a 3D modeler, but later I do some animation work, and later I more focused on concept artist and illustrations works. And after 4 years of working, so boring of what we are doing, because these games wasn't interesting. Oh, something like forest fire begins.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm really happy to see this kind of change in the mood.
Yeah. I think this cook will join the team, right?
That's nice.
Okay, so this is a little bit of my biography. So, and we're still working in a company making casual games. Me and my friends started trying to make a game. At first, it was like a dream project of like huge RPG with turn-based combats, with total control over your movement, over every action in the game, with upgrades on the weapons. But of course, it was like
total control of movement. It's like in Alone in the Dark 2008, where you can literally change the pose you're standing in, and that depends on the attack animation you will use. Or you can, you can use wooden weapon to put it on fire, and then you just simply touch enemies with fire so they burn and die.
Yeah, it was great, interactions in the physical world, like. But I mean, great control over the movement, that you can precisely mark where your character is moving, with which speed he's moving, where he's facing, all this stuff. But it really doesn't matter, because such a project was too huge and
that sounds like too much. Too much control. It's like it requires to have a reason to be there. Like in Alone in the Dark, where you can change the pose of your hands, and that's important because it helps you to set things on fire and set enemies on fire.
Yeah.
But overall, I like the idea, because Alone in the Dark 2008 is one of my favorite games, and I was really happy to see that they tried something different with this game.
Yeah, I agree. But you're right, it was too much control, and the project itself was like too huge, for such a small team without personal experience in making a game from start to end. So at some moment we kind of stopped making this game, and we tried to figure out what kind of game we really can be able to make, because we was just a small team of 3 guys. Of course, I had some experience. Our programmer, Andrei, he's a kind of professional programmer and he has some experience in making the games. But still, it's too small team without a budget, without anything. So we're trying to figure out what we can do in kind of smaller project. We tried a few ideas, and at some point we kind of was inspired by a game called Battle of Tiles. Not very well known, but still a very nice game, I would say. It has like similar mechanics of movement like we have in Bravada, but it's not that deep. It has no story, it has no role-playing elements, it has no branches and upgrades. So I have to give you a little tip. You, as in the levels where they're falling from ceiling, you have to you don't have to stop on the one place for a long, because
so if I will burn if I stop, right?
Yes. So try to not waste your turns for standing on the one place for a long, because this fire is something you will have to deal with if you will stay. So we kind of start with making this game, Bravada. We pretty fast made some worked prototype, I would say, to check. Oh, as you can see, the fire is there and it burns. So we made a prototype, everything works pretty fine, and we start to planning our chapters, the story, and everything. Oh, woolen cap, that's what you need in fire ring.
The retro hat is better because it gives speed.
Yeah, so you will attack sooner, right? And at some moment in the development, we decided to leave our work, because developing of the game, it's hard to do when you just spend a couple of hours at the evening after your work. It's really hard to do, and very also it's much easier to make.
Also, you don't get much satisfaction because you a lot of trouble to allocate these 2 hours in the evening, and then you're doing something and then you look at it and you see that you didn't do a lot of stuff, and it always feels a lot better when at the end of the day you look back and you see that you did a lot of exciting things.
For some reason I don't see the picture. Oh yeah, back. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So it's very hard doing like a partial time, spending like a couple of hours after work, because you're already tired and you need some rest. And always it's easier to work when you're sitting in kind of together in some room, and we're working together from the from 9 to 9 hours per day. Of course it's much faster than just couple hours after work. So we decide to leave our jobs, and oh man, you're losing. Now you should decide if you want to time or not. If not, then just deal with it and move to trying to drag these guys behind this log and continue.
I'm not sure if it's even possible to resurrect this character. I mean, if I rewind, maybe I will just lose again.
Okay, then just Oh
Hey,
man,
it didn't.
you trouble.
It's not dragging. Oh no. From second attempt it did work.
Now just move forward. Just move forward. Move forward because your main part to drag. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Run as fast as you can. Try to avoid the obstacles like logs, and don't forget to use diagonals. Yeah. Yeah, use diagonals. It will work. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh. Okay, you can try to heal him with your healing potion and then move. The problem in your team that you have but not so much damage dealers, so maybe you should clone one of these green slimes or green mushrooms, because you have a spare ink consumables and it's just, you know, need to be spent. Why not? Yeah. So okay, we kind of leave our jobs and starting to work in full time on the Bravada. And the main goal was to make a simple game, and at the same time I really tried to make this game look solid. You know, not one of these indie games who has assets taken from whatever on the internet, some models from TurboSquid and textures from Google Images. So maybe you should go back to checkpoint.
I think same.
Because undo won't make a lot for you. Yeah, this is a tough level, you know, so...
Extremely tough.
Can you imagine it's on hard difficulty?
Absolutely impossible to complete.
No, it's possible.
Last checkpoint. Here it is.
I don't know how even to help you. I think you have to form like a formation like 2x2, you know, to make like a compact, very compact formation, which can avoid. Sorry, I have a phone call. Okay, I'm back. How you doing, Nikolai?
still trying to complete this.
You need
Many-
to move,
many
you need to
slimes.
move forward. Oh. Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard.
I can move, but without characters.
Okay, okay. No, don't do loading. Maybe it's fine. First of all, use your amp. First of all, use your amp. Copy any units you need, like this blue slime, like this dwarf. Use whatever you can. Select position again, and form like, you know, compact, very compact formation, as compact as you can. Okay, now move forward and try to save this dwarf. He will join, I think. We don't have a healers, that's a problem, but it's okay. It's fine. I don't know, maybe health or... Okay. Always try to move forward. Never skip a turn, because it's bad. This little healing you get from forward is always very helpful. And try to keep your formation, you know, compact.
So you have stopped at the moment that you left the job in order to work on Bravada full time.
Yes, yeah, you're right. And we make in Bravada, and at some moment we decide to go on Steam using the green light, no opportunity. So we can upload our game on the green light, but it was very hard for us to go through the green light because not many players kind of paying attention to the game, or there is no place where new players can find our game and to vote for it on the green light. And at some moment we still wasn't green lighting, and we take a part in the annual competition from Intel company. Intel supports indie developers, and every year they kind of organize this competition for indie developers. They have a few categories of games which you can participate and win, you know, the prize. So we participate as a RPG game, which is not really RPG, but you know, why not? Because it has some elements of RPG. Yeah, and eventually we kind of win this challenge and became the RPG with the
manager.
Manager?
Yes, yeah. Achievement.
Yeah, because you have 6. Maybe. Oh, that's pretty nice weapon because it has a lot of damage. Yeah, so we win this game, best indie RPG in the Intel contest. And what was the benefit is the Intel has some agreement with Steam, and games which, you know, wins in their challenge, they have an opportunity to get into the Steam, right into the Steam. So, and kind of in the week before we kind of know that we win this competition, we have already been voted by players on the green light. So we kind of get into the Steam in 2 ways same time. So something like this, it's kind of funny for me because we tried so hard to be promoted, to be voted for us on the green light, but at the same time we win this challenge and we do nothing for that because we just upload our demo version. So I also want to say that Intel is very good, they're super nice. It was a pleasure to have a conversation with them. They helps us a lot and I really appreciate it. Also, if you're interested, I can tell you about what coverage we get in some media on the internet, on the Bravada.
Yes, I'm interested.
We get some coverage on Rock Paper Shotgun web. Probably heard about it. It's
yes.
Pretty famous website with support of indie games. So, and one of the authors there made a preview of our demo version. It was very pleasant for us because Rock Paper Shotgun, it's cool. What else? Famous YouTuber Total Biscuit also kind of show our game in his series Impress Me. He kind of started at the moment he Impress Me, showed indie games and trying to be impressed by them, something like that. It really helps because Total Biscuit is a very popular YouTuber. Kinda was popular because he passed away like months ago. Unfortunately, he was a very kind person, so rest in peace.
I'm comment. Good thing I'm lucky this tree trunk has no collision.
Yeah. That's probably like a bug. Oh man, you have a very tough team of the slimes, in front of you. So I think you need a bigger team to defeat them. So use all you can, all the ends. Also, I made an article for Polygon website about the development of Bravada. I contacted Ben Kuchera, very famous author from the Polygon, and made an article. He made a few editions in it, and it kind of on the Polygon website also. And if anybody interested, Rock Paper Shotgun and Polygons has like zero influence on sales, so we don't get nothing from there in terms of.
That's extremely counterintuitive. You think
Why?
if more people know about the game, then there's a higher chance of.
I don't know. Maybe the
sales.
game was just not up to the not up to the auditory it have.
Maybe.
Polygon. So it was very pleasant to get covered Rock Paper Shotgun or Polygon, but very like a prestige maybe. But zero sold copies, I would say. But coverage on the channel really has some influence and really gives some sold for us. Something like this. So that's basically it about the story of development in short. Maybe you have some question because I don't know. See, I can comment the gameplay or answer some question from you. Really, I'm really proud of you because you kind of all you is left is just drag and drop your units over this creek and and you're fine.
They say they're going to swim, but actually there's no collision. The river has no collision, it again is counterintuitive.
Yeah. This level is much easier than previous, of course, and it has this, you know, dark forest, nighty forest atmosphere. I think this new sword is kind of gold tier, so one of the best weapon you have for now.
It's a lot more colorful than previous levels, with different colors of flowers, and in general it looks more detailed, because levels, especially the basement, they seem to lack in different details, just empty corridors.
Yeah, you're right, the basement was the first chapter we made, and it truly lacks some of polishing and details.
It's a pretty bold move though to leave first levels unpolished, because that has chances of turning some people away, because they might think that whole game is unpolished like that. And maybe it's a better idea to put as much polish as possible in the beginning of the game for a good first impression, to get chances that then later things, if something is not perfect, it has chances to be forgiven because of good first impression.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. For now, you don't have any...
Yes, I don't have healers.
So where is my shotgun? Okay. You don't have a shotgun. I think you will
meet a healer.
Of your team healers. It's also kind of wrong decision to make such an easy mechanic to dismissing and pasting, because you don't have a real link to your characters. Because of that, if you miss someone, you just, you know, copy and paste, and it's fine. You still have a working team. So it doesn't help to build a relation, like link to these characters. Oh, it's a nice weapon because it has area of damage. Sometimes it's very useful, but not when you use it for against like single characters, because damage is not great, but it's on the area. It also has a lot of range, so even keeping your hero in the third row, still able to make damage.
This is nice. I wonder what the book does.
I think it gives another level choosing character, So you can try it, why not? Wrong move. But nothing special, you have the ink, so in a few turns you can paste another one. Sometimes players complains about why can't I choose who to attack? So
but you
they
can
don't like.
with double click on like this.
Yes, you do, but
So it's probably not
many
explained very well.
people don't like to read. We kind of discussed it, so they don't even read the tips in the tutorial. So, or maybe forget about it. This opportunity, this ability to choose.
Maybe there are a lot of complex mechanics and they all like thrown at you very early. Maybe it would be better if you had like few levels and each new mechanic is get thrown at you per level and creates a situation where the mechanic is required. So it will be very memorable because like you have a level and there are a few enemies and you simply cannot complete it if you don't use ability to select enemy as the main target.
They totally make sense. So just another mistake we made. I think you don't have to, create single pair of the enemies because they cannot do nothing to you. Especially if you will place your kind of tankish characters in front, it will be fine. Even without a healer, if you keep moving forward, they will heal and it will be okay. So they will deal with damage even without the heal. But sooner or later you will find the heal. So it's okay. Oh.
That's not a problem, I can clone him anyway.
Yeah. The only thing you're losing when you clone someone, he is the same level as the one who you cloned from, but it kind of like a zero experience at this level. So we just losing a little bit of. Not a big deal.
Should have cloned my healers while I had the chance, if I even had it, because everything went so quickly I didn't even have a ability to
Don't worry,
memorize.
I think you will meet next healers sooner or later. It's not a big problem. Also, it's possible to play without the healers. Not on the hard level, but on normal it's possible.
Broad daylight, but it's night level.
Yeah, no, they kinda took these phrases from a list.
Well, some flags like is it night, is it day would help this list.
Yeah, you're kinda using your, your advantages in the range. Poor Turkey don't understand what to do, what is going.
Yes. And it only went to a shop to buy some milk.
I think that there is no like a true AI or even like a system to search search a pass. I don't know how to say. So enemies basically are moving down, and if they met in their range, they met some of your characters or units, they kind of try to attack you. That's all. So it's pretty simple. Oh, these new bugs. I do remember them. I try to avoid this, man, because they dangerous. But not critically dangerous. So.
Why is dying on Saturday so important? And it is Saturday now, isn't it? So
Probably.
flag is Saturday also would be useful for a list. Like if it is Saturday, then the enemy says, "Yay, it's Saturday, it's the day I wanted to die, and in this day my life is complete."
Almost, yeah. Also, I can told you how we made a translation, because as you may notice, my English is far from perfect. So, but English in the game is pretty much fine. First of all, we made a localization kit. I don't know how it should be made properly, but we made it in a simple XLS spreadsheet. So it has few columns. First,
proper localization kit is when the game has a file and all texts has been placed in that file. So, and then translators replace the texts in the file, and then you instantly get a game which is localized by simply replacing this file in the game resources.
Yeah, but you know, it's not that, you know, I don't think it works really well. So we built a system where
it's not convenient to script the game, because instead of typing actual text in the script, you have to type that this is going to be line number 9856 or something like that, and then type that line in the file with localization kit. But this way of spending time, it makes it easier to localize, because you don't have to change all the scripts. You just replace one file and everything works.
But to make it, you know, more comfy to work with for guys who make a translation, we made it that way. All the text was stored in a spreadsheet in XLS file. So the first column was like a key column. Second was Russian text. Third was like a Ukrainian text, and fourth was like English text. We kind of have plans to make other translations, but it's never going to happen. So when I made a rough translation, and other person kind of make a polishing of this translation, like a native speaker have to edit all this big table. Also, we kind of make edit text right inside the game. That was really awesome, because the person who made the translation kind of have an ability to make it right in the game. And
that's a great idea, because often translations suffer because people simply don't see what they're translating. Actors don't see who they are playing and what context there is, and it solves all these problems when you can just put stuff right in the game.
Yeah,
and edit it
because
right there.
It's often kind of out of context, and you know what I'm saying. So we have a special build of the game, which has these little red buttons right next to the text fields. For example, if you go into the description of the items, right next to the text, there are a little red button in this special build, and when you press this button, two field appears. One of them has like Russian text, and second one has English text, and you can make a translation right in being in the context of what is going on, what this character says, or what this items looks like. It was very useful. Also, we kind of made few special levels, especially for these translators who helped us to translate the game, like levels where you have all the creatures and all the characters in the game. So it's like a short level with a lot of units right in your face. So, and you have to go one by one and edit all the translations. And similarly, we have same for the items and other text. So I don't know how the proper hour was like this, holding everything in the spreadsheet, and we have ability to edit most of the text right inside the game, and it works pretty fine, and so kind of helps us absolutely for free, and edited our text. Of course, Australian English have some, you know, have some differences from English or American English, but still he's a native speaker, so it's way better than my clumsy, cumbersome English. Also, I'm very proud because of music in the game. It's also made specially for our game by a musician called Endless Stitch. They made it for money, but it's, you know, it's such a small money. It's more like symbolic payment, you know. And they make more than dozen tracks for us for every level, basically.
That's great.
for boss fights and whatsoever. And also there was some funny episode related to the sounds inside the game. If music was made especially for the game and it's unique, the sounds we use mostly free sounds from free libraries, you know, on the internet. And at some moment, some players kind of noticed that sound of the death of I don't know, some hog of some unit, it's kind of taken from Minecraft or Terraria game, and they kind of accuse us like we steal the sound. No,
yeah,
big game
can happen
like
because
Terraria.
people don't know about free sound libraries.
Yeah, and they kind of, hey guys, you kind of steal this sound from Terraria. I'll make this creators of Terraria know that you're stealers.
And you say you're in for a big disappointment because everything is totally legal. Here's the page where the sound owner says that you are allowed to use this sound.
Man, your formation right now, it looks like you turned cross. Yeah, so this is what a funny episode about.
Explorer 2000 steps.
Maybe
And
you
really
will
cool
get
that it shows description, because Steam does not show description. It only says achievement unlocked Explorer, and if it's not for this, I would have to go to the Steam achievements page to see what I have done, but thanks to this nice window I don't have to, so it's a great idea. And rewards for achievements is also, as I already said, it's a great idea too.
Yeah. And this battle spear has like it piercing two enemies by once, you know, 2 in a row. It has less range than your bombs, but
I believe
yeah, I can see it.
I will have a hard time of finding a weapon which beats the bombs in its power.
No, there are a rifle, sniper rifle. I think you will love it if you will find it. Because it has most of the range in the game.
Yes, and considering that I like to use advantage of the range.
Also about the naming of the game. You know, the properly word Bravada in English is kind of has this O at the end, not the A. That was made on purpose because we kind of wanted to have like a very descriptive name, and at the same time somewhat unique, you know.
Something that would only give you when people try to Google it.
Yeah, that's right. So Bravada, it's kind of reflects the story some kind, because the main character is always, you know, bravading, maybe, so about his adventures and how heroic he is. So it somewhat reflects what's going on inside the game. And we changed this one letter at the end just to make this name unique. It was a fine decision, but the problem is that there are another Bravada in the world, and it is a car, SUV from Oldsmobile brand. So Oldsmobile Bravada is a SUV car, and if you're trying to type Bravada in mostly you will get images and links to this old, you know, car from the brand, which is not even exist today. Yeah,
this is sad.
Yeah, but somehow, eventually, for these years, for now, you can still see the Bravada. And our game is kind of trying to compete with this old in the Google search, you know, result.
That's good news.
But if you add game of word game, there's no chance you don't see the links to our website or Steam or whatsoever.
Actually, I have to switch back and forth because in the statistics it doesn't show me what changed.
Yeah. I think you need to select.
Well, the both are the same, but Forester has more health. Hunter has 5 chance of critical, but Forester has higher attack, and that will help me more often than 5 chance of critical.
Right, but Hunter has bigger range. It has very.
I didn't notice that.
So
yes,
take this
bigger range. That changed the situation. Yes.
You can make
so much information. So easy
five,
to miss.
5, and it will be a killer team. You can dismiss all your enemies. 5 hunters. If you wish. So as I say, we don't get a lot of coverage from you know, websites and reviewers, but still there was enough reviewers of Bravada to get into the Metacritic statistics. I don't know how exactly it works, but I think you have to have like maybe 10 reviews on some sites, websites, to get into the Metacritic. So we got 70 critics out of 100, which is really mediocre, I would say. And we have a user score of 7.6 out of 10, which is a little bit better, but still not the 9.5.
But
and
this
also
game has a lot of potential because it's very unique, and it makes the player, forces the player to think, and with better presentation I think it would really stand out and be a great project.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm kind of proud of this game. Most of goals we trying to achieve was achieved, and you know, it looks fine. It's pretty interesting if you're into this type of games. I know you are not, so you more like actions and first-person shooters.
Yes.
But for people who likes to turn-based combats, it's pretty interesting. Not every turn-based game these days have to be like XCOM clone, you know, with their like two-phase movement system. When you have 2 action points, one of movement for action. I think Bravada is something new, but still, Bravada has a lot of mistakes. Was made making on Bravada, so that's why it doesn't get much of coverage, and the rating is mediocre. But I would say that Bravada still has a better rating on Metacritic than Fallout 4. How about that? Let me check it. Fallout 4. That is something I'm proud of. Fallout 4 has user score 5.5. Bravada has 7.6. I'm just kidding, so, of course. Yeah, so for me, Bravada is little key game. Also, I get tons of experience out of Bravada because even if you're working in the industry, like in the company of making games, when you're just sitting at your desk and making your own job, like art job or design or programming, you kind of see only the part of development, and you're not facing a lot of problems.
Yes.
That you meet when you're trying to make your own game, because when you do it by your own, there is no one who will do something for you, and if something has to be done, it's you who will do this, you know.
Exactly.
So making the Bravada, it was really huge experience for me, because on this project I kind of realized how whole process is looks like, and what kind of level of complexion it has, you know, what kind of problems, how hard it's to promote the game, because, you know, we send tons of letters to all the reviewers, to all the websites, to many publishers, to trying to get some kind of coverage, involve someone to help.
Yes, that's the right strategy, because PR is basically a lottery, and in order to win a lottery you need a lot of lottery tickets.
Yeah, that's right, for sure. Because some of dreamers like me at the moment thinking it's just enough to make a fine game, and you know, the popularity is come right after from nowhere.
There's the problem that many people who would love your game, they don't know about it, and how to make them know about it.
Yeah,
it's a huge task, really huge.
For example, the Minecraft game and developer Mojang, they kind of gets a huge popularity because Minecraft one of the best seller on the indie from the indie, you know, indie games. But I think it was kind of like random more than like a strategy, some kind of because all the new games made like Scrolls, they made card builder game Scrolls, and it absolutely has no popularity. So why is that?
Win the lottery first time, lose the lottery second time.
Yeah, that's true. So many of this, history of success, I believe they kind of situation of randomness.
I believe the same too.
Okay, what is going on? Look, it's armored beetle. 10
yes,
out
yes.
of 6 words.
Can withstand even direct hit from a rolled up newspaper. Wow, this beetle is going to surprise us. And next time we will surprise it by rolling a metal bar inside of a newspaper.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're not too far from second. If we can beat it, I think will be nice goal for this stream. We kind of can't end up there. So let's try moving forward, and maybe that's enough for today.
That's 106 and then 120. What? Smaller attack. Don't seem to be a point to replacing these with beetles.
Oh, flowers! I can see flowers. That's a good sign. Still no healer.
They are not coming.
As you can see, these turkeys are kind of attacking this.
Yeah. Enemy infighting.
Oh.
The hunter. That's a leveled up character. He should not be lost.
Yeah, that's correct move. You always kind of should try to place your tanker up to the enemies, not to exposing your, long range units or healers. It's always a good strategy. And you always must try to move your formation in the way when most of your characters kind of will be able to attack. There's those turkeys coming out of nowhere.
They were hiding in the bushes.
Yeah. And tons of these wild boars. Good move, good move.
Thank you.
Oh, the snakes.
Spitting Cobra, Python.
Python is close range and Spitting Cobra are more like...
Ranged character would be more useful.
Also, it's magical, like acid damage, so it will very be useful against this regular with the physical armor enemies. So I think it's a good decision to use Cobra instead of Python. Sorry, I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. replay map.
Okay, I'm here.
A lot of flowers and... Oh, it's already a search. He said wrong one.
Yeah.
Probably we are interested in the roots or something. Since we have to pick the flower in order to understand if it's the one we need.
Don't worry, game is pretty linear. You won't miss it anyway.
Maybe there's some important loot. And now there's inconvenience, I have to... My team rearranged in one move and then I have to spend 4 moves in order to arrange it back.
I think you'll be fine just moving forward. So, this one is
Halloween 3.
Yeah, this is second boss. I really like it. I forget to tell you, he's a local crazy old nerd, nicknamed Treebeard. We come too far to simply give up, especially when so close. Maybe we can negotiate? Where have you seen something outlandish as a dwarf negotiating with... You shall not pass this flower field. You shall not trample my stinking meadows. You shall not harm my innocent little animals. Yeah, so he's like kinda king of the forest. Looks like negotiations have failed. Yeah, looks like. Okay, so this is the second boss. Let's see how you will deal with him.
Ranged attack. It seems like it doesn't have ranged attack, so I should move ranged attackers away and put...
I won't be so sure, you know.
It will change its shape later.
Not really, but he's like a more complex boss than previous one.
And here I could really use a healer.
Yeah. I would recommend you to rearrange you that way that they will take as less damage as possible, so they shouldn't stand close to each other, you know, because he's his attack is like has a cross shape, like X shape. Yeah. But okay, now he's hitting 3 of them. Now he used the tangling roots. Oh, that one. You can kind of rewind the time and health potions. Because losing 2 characters is too much for 1 turn. Also, you have this, mysterious box, so you can make more healing potion. So that's what you need. Also, you can use this book health, I believe.
Refill health.
Yeah.
Yes, it worked. And now I have this.
I'm not sure if it works on the boss. On regular enemies it works for sure. Not sure about the bosses. Use healing potions, use shields. Okay, that's fine now. Hit the space button. He has not so much health, so I think you can deal with him. Range? Yeah, it's kinda highlighted. Come on, I believe in you. You can do that. Trying to not formate this cross shape because he will attack in 3x1s, And yeah, you lost your hero, so let's try and undo last turn, maybe. Yeah. And heal you. You have a mysterious box consumables. Can you see it? It's
yes, it's right here.
You can create healing potions out of it. So just click on healing potions. Okay. Oh, you got a new weapon. No, it's like a katana in the second row. Yeah. And now he used on your main character.
He doesn't look that much damaged, though. But still.
What weapon do you use? You use bombs, right? Bombs is okay, but move a little closer. Your character, yeah, move up to his legs, right in front of his leg.
Right here?
No, one square. Oh, fine.
He moved there anyway.
It's okay. Just convert your mysterious box, health potions, and heal whoever you need. Maybe those ones, shooter, hunter, yeah. Okay, use your healing potion, yeah. Almost do this. Almost done. I think this boss has 3 types of attack, like this cannon attack, tangling roots, and just hit by a branch. And he used it looking at the situation. If you animation is like very tight, then he used this cannon. If you stand on some distance one from each other, then he hits by the branches or use the dangling roots. You can rewind the time.
I think I can just clone this hunter later.
Yeah.
Have another one.
So just finish him. Okay. Select and upgrade. Oh, that X is also a good weapon. Unfortunately, I have to go soon, so let's kind of take this flower and that's it.
The game says automatically, so if I just quit the game, I will keep my progress, right?
Yes. I think yes. So, when you take this flower, maybe there's some kind of movie will shown or not.
I didn't take the flower, but it's already shown the movie.
It's just like in my dream. Stop with the dream and grab the flower.
And now someone steals the flower in the last moment.
Calm down. The flower will not go anywhere now. Did you see how I fell this time?
Just what I said, someone's already going to steal the flower.
Easy as Goblin Spy. I wish the elders could see this. Oh well. Now they will all respect me. Come to me, my precious. An orc stole the flower. Pick it back. Put it back, you green scoundrel. He escaped. You lost your bird, Wally. I know where their village is. I'm sure he's take the flower to his king. They are dead meat. I swear on my bird. Boundless step. Okay, so this is a
right.
it taking place in the step.
Well, since you have to go, I think it's time to say goodbye. It's pretty unusual game. Very interesting, but also very hard, but interesting. And variety of locations is also interesting. Like this is looking different from what was in the forest. I hope there will be more different locations in the end.
Every one of 5 chapters different, and also there are some changes like inside every chapter. Like dark forest
great.
Instead of
burning forest that kills all the characters.
Yeah. Okay, Nikolai, thank you for the stream.
And thank you very much for coming to the stream. It was very interesting to stream with you and learn about the game.
Yeah,
many interesting things, how it was in the inside when developing it. And I'm very happy to have run such stream. And so thank you very much for coming. Yeah, thanks to everyone who has watched. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.